2000s realness.
Totally. And that's what I said to them. I was like, I want to write like pop punk music. Like that's the music that I listened to the most growing up. I think it's fun. There's a real resurgence happening right now, or this is what the TikTok kids keep telling me. They're loving finding bands that for, anyone my age is like, oh yeah, we listened to them 20 years ago.
Right.
But young people are finding it now. And I was like, I think this is the time. That was part of it too, in terms of the timing of doing this. It was like, I felt like I was getting a lot of signs from the universe that it was like, just do the thing.
Yeah.
Do the thing. Yeah.
I was like, this is like 90s, 2000s. Like,
Yes.
I'm feeling a little like No Doubt, but like a
Totally.
little edgier.
Yeah.
And your look on stage, like I did a deep dive of your IG today.
I love it.
I'm getting a little like Courtney Love now.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Right? Okay.
Yeah. And what's funny is that I wore one outfit for like a photo shoot I did to support my birthday. And then I wore kind of a version of that same outfit at my birthday. And then I tried on so many outfits for the most recent show I played. And I just went back to the same thing. And I was like, am I going to be the weirdo that has like the closet of 18 like cut off tank tops and like 18 black skirts? And I was like, maybe that'll be the uniform.
This is your process.
That's
your
part of it.
art.
Exactly.
What do you get like from performing? Because I know you were just at the Peppermint Club. Like, what do you get from performing live that you don't get, from, sitting on a soundstage on, the NBC or ABC lot?
Yeah. It's obviously there's such a connection and exchange of energy that happens when you're doing something for a crowd, when you're doing something in person. And I've did live comedy for years. Again, that was how I came up and got into film and television. So that's a fun experience too. But there's something different about the energy exchange that I feel you get performing music for people. I think ideally people want to move their bodies and want to sing along or kind of engage in a way that like it just feels so alive in that room, even though I know that sounds impossibly cheesy. It's true. Like if you're performing theater or comedy, the audience is sitting and they'll laugh and you'll feel it. And that's great. And it's wonderful and it feels delicious. But there's something about being on stage and being completely uninhibited and then watching your uninhibiting yourself, doing the same for everyone that's watching you. And then it's like you're in this real shared thing where everybody's being a little vulnerable, right? Because dancing and moving is not something that we necessarily all feel comfortable just doing anywhere, anytime.
Right.
And I think that's just, it elevates the kind of performance experience. There's nothing better to me as a performer.
Wow.
Yeah.
Have you, because you mentioned this one, where you hired the rock band and now is it just 2 times that you performed
It's
live?
just 2 times.
Wow.
Yeah. We've got another show coming up in July here, and then it's. I think we're going to start doing more and more. I'm writing a lot more music right now too, so which is great because obviously we're in the midst of a writer's strike here, so not working right now anyway. And what better way to funnel your creative energy than a completely new project?
Oh, I was going to say, I knew that you were working on music a little bit before this, but I'm like, what great timing for you.
It really, again, the stars just really felt like they were aligning. Like, all jokes aside, I believe in all of those kinds of things. And it really just felt like I was having so many kicks from the universe going like, just do it. Just put it out there. Like, this is the time. And yeah, it just has really worked out.
Has it been, because for everyone listening, I hate to break it to you, like Lauren Ash is not Dina Fox from Superstore. They are 2 separate people.
Believe it or not. Yeah.
Believe it or not. Yeah. But, these are your words. Like, that, a lot of actors and actresses don't want to, they don't want to do reality TV. They don't want to do music. It's you. It's more vulnerable, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what's funny too, because I think the most vulnerable I have felt since I was a child was going into the studio to play the songs that I had written for Shane, who's the producer on Now I Know. It's just such a different level of, I don't know, it just feels way more nude to like, I wrote a song that's earnest. This isn't a joke. Like, I'm taking this, I don't take myself super seriously, but I'm taking this a little seriously here. And the idea of failure with that feels more kind of devastating than if somebody doesn't laugh at a joke, wow, you move on to the next joke. But this, it's like, it's all there, just distilled into one 3.5 minute, like, here's a slice of my insides, So it's definitely a different kind of more vulnerable process. Even doing the last show that I did, I was so nervous, and I don't really get nervous, as an actor pretty much ever. I haven't felt that in a long time, but in a way that felt so great. It was like, so you feel so alive when you are going through the roller coaster of being terrified before you're about to do something.
You don't get like, so you're going in for an audition, not dead yet, your new ABC. Like, you don't get nervous when you go in for these auditions?
Not really anymore. I think I've
Wow.
just done it for so long. I mean, I've been auditioning since I was 13, so it's been a long time. And I've just learned that you can't, as best you cannot get invested. You can't give that part of yourself, because sometimes you will, and you'll give that part of yourself into like putting so much energy and nerves and thought about it, and then it kind of can deplete you, right? If you're investing very deeply in every audition. So for me, years ago, I was like, I go in, I do it, I do my best, and then I flush it and I don't think about it. And if it comes back to me, wonderful. But I can't allow myself to give that vulnerable chunk, or else, I mean, I'd be in an institution.
I get
It's
it.
like, it's tough. And I know a lot of people can get really down, and it's easy to get really down because you audition a lot and you get told no a lot. But that's why for me, I was like, I have to take it with a grain of salt. It has to just be a part of what I do. Now, granted, if there was a massive audition, if I was like auditioning to be on like The Mandalorian or something that I love, I'm certain then I would be nervous. But generally, I try to keep it at bay.
Wow. And has that, always been the case? Like, even before, you had some, what people consider, success in the business. I would say a few hit TV shows on major networks would be considered success as an actress. But were you always this way? Like, even, during your beginning years?
I definitely tried. Like, I remember one of my stories from like when I was first starting out as an actor was I had an audition for a commercial. I can't even remember what the commercial was for, but something like not glamorous. And I had a little too much to drink the night before, and I was too hungover. And I went in and I was like, this is terrible. And I booked it because it was like I just didn't care. Like, I truly was like, take it or leave it. And I feel like there's really something about that energy, and that's advice I would give to any like young actor. Like, if you feel desperate, they can smell it on you. Now I'm not suggesting to get hungover before every audition whatsoever, but it was such a learning moment for me where it was like, I went in and I did well, but I just didn't, and my energy was like, I can take this or leave this. And I think that can sometimes make the difference. But I have also had people tell me over the years when I've been, screen testing for various TV shows, and usually then in a screen test, it's down to like a few of you for each role. And then it whittles down over the course of the day, which feels terrible. Like, you're all in this together as a team, and then by the end, it's like you and one other person, and it's a death duel to the end. But I have had feedback in those rooms where people have been like, "Why are you so quiet? Why are you so confident?" And I was like, "I'm just silent. Like, I'm just not nervously chatting. That's the only difference. I may feel nervous inside, but I fake it till I make it."
Wow. Yeah, that is like fight to the death when it's like there's only two of you left standing.
It's a very odd experience that feels really terrible.
Right. You're like, I either know you or I've become BFFs with you over the last 12 hours. But yeah, I mean, this is my part, so like, please watch out.
Well, and also, yeah, like it pits people against each other in a way that feels like, I don't know, it feels unnecessary. I mean, it's just odd.
Have you ever, like, I once spoke to an actress that, she was like in the final round, she says, for like Claire Dunphy on Modern Family. I'm like, oh my God, that could have been you. Who knew? Julie Bowen, we loved. But were you ever in the mix for something where it's like, oh my God, that could have been Lauren Ash? Like, it's a part we all know so well.
Oh, let me think about whether there was
far.
something iconic. I mean, there's lots of things that I've gotten close to. I was actually, I don't know if I'm supposed to tell that.
You can tell it.
I love the gentle prod. You can tell it.
Listen, we're old friends now. Come on.
I definitely met a few times to play the lead in I Feel Pretty, the Amy Schumer movie that came out. I definitely met a few times on that. So that was probably the biggest one where I was like, man, I got pretty close to that.
I can see this.
Yeah.
And you never, you don't get nervous, but do you ever feel, or are you, we kind of just talked about this, but is it like the universe always has its way of working out?